They didn't see it happen, but the spirit realm did. Your name was written in a place no human hand can reach. Heaven signed your authority. Now every spirit, light and dark, knows who you are. And the shift is already in motion. The invisible has broken into the visible. Jurisdiction you could only sense before is now manifest. Doors that stayed locked for years swing open without explanation. Not because of charm, not because of luck, because a decree went out from the throne. Your words, no longer just words, they are arrows. They cut through confusion. They pierce the air with an authority that is not your own. Even the casual statements whispered over coffee, spoken in passing, carry enforcement. Isaiah 55 says his word will not return void. When you speak in alignment, heaven delivers the package. And the resistance? It's not gone. It's redirected. Attacks reroute into the very roads that lead you closer to destiny. The enemy's plans are repurposed as scaffolding for your calling. Genesis 50-20, what they meant for evil, God meant for good. You've noticed it. Recognition without introduction. People adjust their tone before knowing your name. They sense something. They can't explain why their posture changes in your presence. The Spirit announces you before your feet arrive. Even the environment bends. Rooms that used to feel hostile now feel still. Chaos calms. Tension dissolves. Because you are walking with heaven's legal decree, and creation itself responds to the rightful steward. Opposition exposes itself early now. Plots crumble before they're fully formed. Enemies burn their own cover. Because the realm knows your boundaries are enforced by higher law. Provision is bypassing the old gates. Resources are finding you without your networking, without you climbing the ladders men built. Heaven's endorsement skips man's gatekeepers. But not everyone can stand the new atmosphere. Hidden enemies become restless. They fidget, they slip, they vanish, because their spirit knows this territory is no longer safe for them. And watch how the timing shifts. Projects, connections, open doors. They're converging like rivers, meeting at a single point. The alignments are not random. They are clockwork in the kingdom. Your clarity is different now. It's surgical. You know the real from the counterfeit without debate. You refuse the bait instantly, because you can feel the pulse of what is heaven approved. This is the moment where invisible authority steps into visible impact. Every spirit knows. The question now is, will you walk in it without fear, without delay, without compromise? Heaven has already filed the paperwork. This is not a feeling. It's a legal credential. Your name is written in a higher court's registry, and that record stands as law in the unseen realm. When it appears on heaven's books, spirits don't debate it. They enforce it. You carry a seal now, not visible to human eyes, but in the spirit, it radiates a unique frequency. Every being tuned to the invisible knows it. God's endorsement has imprinted you with a resonance that can't be forged. You don't have to explain yourself. Your frequency already did the introduction. Rank is not up for negotiation. In the kingdom, there is no voting on authority. Your jurisdiction, your metron shows as boundaries lit with fire, marked with insignia that even the enemy salutes, like soldiers recognizing a decorated officer. The realms see your rank before you open your mouth. And you're not standing alone. Your covering is not just a prayer, it is a chain of divine backing. Angels assigned to your life, prophetic words that carry legal weight in heaven. The blood covenant itself declaring you untouchable in certain arenas. Spirits read the covering, not your charisma. Your history matters. Past obedience, past victories, they have formed spiritual case law. Every time you resisted temptation, every time you spoke truth under fire, every time you obeyed at personal cost, it went on your record. Now adversaries consult that record, and they remember, they've lost to this kind of anointing before. Look around you. The escort is real. Your assignment has drawn specific angelic ranks. They are not ornamental. They move with you like military colors in a procession, visible proof to the unseen that you have the right to act here. And when you speak now, it's not just conversation. Your words carry verified keys. Heaven recognizes the encryption. Realms respond to the command structure embedded in your voice. Imposters can mimic tone, but not unlock doors. And spirits know the difference instantly. Consecration has changed the voltage you emit. This is not emotional intensity. This is measurable power in the spirit realm. Low-grade entities won't come near, not because you chase them, but because your field will fry them if they linger. Recognition is no courtesy, it's self-preservation. Even your presence has changed. Obedience has altered your aroma, shifted your luminosity. Scripture calls it the fragrance of life to those being saved. In the realms, you are a beacon, navigated toward by the righteous, avoided by the corrupt, and your arrival never catches them off guard anymore. Your assignment is published before you step foot into a place. Destiny scrolls are sent ahead. Briefings are issued. Who you are, what you carry, what's off limits. By the time you get there, every spirit in the room already knows, and has adjusted its posture accordingly. Rules have changed. You may not see the paperwork, but the spirit world has. Heaven has updated the rules of engagement over your life. This is not the same battlefield you fought on last year. The old access is revoked. The old loopholes are sealed. Demons now move under strict, narrow windows. And even those windows are shrinking. Angels are no longer waiting for your distress call. They've been given clearance to act before the enemy strikes. Your jurisdiction has been redrawn. The map of your spiritual territory looks different now. Borders reinforced. Walls strengthened. Every inch of it marked with heaven's seal. To trespass now is to invite penalty. And at the edge of those borders, checkpoints, spiritual sentries screening every influence before it reaches you. No counterfeit alliance can sneak past them. No hidden assignment can slip in undetected. The chain of command is clear now. Low-level spirits no longer get to linger around your atmosphere. They need higher clearance to even try. And heaven often stamps those requests with a loud, final D-need. Meanwhile, your angelic guard gets fast-tracked. No red tape, no delay. When your assignment demands action, they move instantly. Access channels have been rekeyed. The enemy's spare keys don't fit anymore. Dreams once infiltrated are now shielded. Emotions once manipulated are now guarded. Finances once drained are now under divine password protection. Health once targeted is now coded to a higher system. But angels, they hold the master keys. Keys that open doors to provision, protection, and divine appointments you could never schedule on your own. Your words now function as operational directives. When you speak in alignment with heaven, you are not making declarations out of habit. You are issuing lawful orders. Demons hear them as binding warrants. Angels hear them as mission briefings. What you loose, they release. What you bind, they lock down. And there are now penalties. Violations carry consequences. Territory loss, forced exposure, fragmentation in the enemy's ranks. Your angels enforce these judgments, raising the cost of touching you to a price the enemy can't afford. The information environment has shifted. You've gone behind heaven's counterintelligence veil. Demonic reconnaissance is scrambled. Their intel on you is unreliable. They misread your moves. They overplay their hand. Meanwhile, angels feed you cleaner data, clear discernment, sharper instincts, warnings that arrive early enough to change the outcome. Timing now tilts toward your favor. The enemy's plans misfire, stall, collapse under their own weight. But angelic missions? They compress time. Deadlines bend to meet you. Coincidences multiply until it becomes obvious. This is not luck. This is a divine shift. Even your habitat is different. Spaces you steward have become low oxygen zones for unclean spirits. They can't breathe there. But angels, they rest there, refuel there, launch missions from there. Your worship is the supply line. Your obedience keeps the base operational. And now every victory you enforce becomes case law. The spirit realm remembers your wins. Zones you've secured become no-go areas for the enemy. Angels use them as launch pads to expand your reach. Your authority radius is growing. And with every battle settled, your very presence becomes a prophetic warning to whatever darkness remains. Before you speak, the room has already decided how it feels about you. Some glance up, startled, as if you entered with a hidden spotlight. Others can't explain why they suddenly fidget, why their voice trembles. Your spirit announces itself before your mouth opens. It's not charisma. It's not human charm. It's the seal of heaven speaking without sound. And here's the warning: that seal is a revealer. Your very presence confronts hidden allegiances. Those tethered to darkness feel the pull of exposure. Your nearness is like an interrogation light no one can switch off. It's Matthew 10, 26-inch motion. There is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed. You are the walking embodiment of that prophecy. It's the mirror effect. When they look at you, they see themselves not the version they post online, but the raw, unfiltered truth of who they are before God. And some can't stand the accuracy. So they vanish, not because you did them wrong, but because standing near you is like standing near their own unhealed wound. The atmosphere shifts when you walk in. It's not imagined. It's spiritual air pressure changing. Those aligned with truth inhale deeper. Their chest feels lighter. Hope returns like a whisper. Maybe freedom is possible. But those aligned with deception feel like the walls are closing in. That's the fight or flight you see in their eyes. You don't need to point fingers or call out names. Authority radiates truth so strongly that pretenders feel naked without accusation. It's why some avoid eye contact, why others overcompensate with fake smiles or forced small talk. Your presence has already done the work. And yet, for the ones who are hungry, truly hungry, there is a magnetic pull. They don't know the vocabulary for it, but they sense you carry keys. Keys to doors they've been banging on in prayer. Keys to chains they've been too ashamed to mention. To them, your presence is not a threat, it's hope wrapped in mystery. But for the unrepentant, it's different. The conviction your presence awakens feels unbearable. They withdraw, blaming your energy, when the real discomfort is the Spirit of God pressing on what they refuse to surrender. There's also something older happening, a recognition not tied to this lifetime. Some part of their soul remembers your spiritual rank, as if from a covenant meeting in the eternal past. Some bow in respect without knowing why. Others resist, feeling a primal urge to oppose. And familiar spirits, they know you. They've read the memo. When you show up, they feel the walls closing in. Hosts may interpret it as anxiety, irritation, or exhaustion. But the truth is, those spirits know they are in hostile territory. This is why reactions to you are never neutral. The attraction or avoidance is not random, it's a filter. Heaven's way of showing you who can walk with you into the next assignment, and who cannot survive the air of your destiny. The decree was not whispered. It was sealed, stamped with the authority of the Ancient of Days. Heaven's court rendered a verdict about you, and that verdict carries the weight of eternity. Once the seal was set, it became public record in the realm of spirit, a record no demon can erase, no witchcraft can overwrite, no human jealousy can revoke. Your name was broadcast through channels not built by man. It was spoken in the language of light. The sound of your assignment rippled across the realms. Allies felt it as a call to arms. Adversaries heard it as a warning. Even those who don't understand your faith feel an unexplained urgency when they think of you, because the frequency of your name is now encoded with purpose. And when that announcement went out, the map shifted. Jurisdiction lines were redrawn in the unseen. Your territory was enlarged. Borders moved without negotiation. Neighboring powers, both angelic and demonic, had to acknowledge the new lines. You govern here now. What was contested ground yesterday is secured ground today. Psalm 16 says, "The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places." This is not metaphor, it is legal reality in the spirit. Then the covenants, they were ratified. Ancient promises, the kind that outlived your ancestors, suddenly activated. Scrolls tied to your bloodline, waiting for an appointed time, unrolled before the throne. You stepped under a legal covering older than your lifetime, and every realm must respect it. At that moment, deployment orders went out. Not just any angels, but the specialized ones. Messengers carrying strategy. Warriors carrying shields taller than you. Guides who know the terrain you're walking into because they've scouted it for years. Their arrival increases the movement around you. More coincidences. More near misses you never even knew were attacks. More provision showing up right when your hand reaches out. But your promotion didn't go unnoticed. Surveillance in the spirit intensified overnight. Kingdom watchers and Hell's informants both track your movements. You became a high-value target, not because of fame, but because of function. And in the same courtroom, the old accusations were finally overturned. The enemy's case file against you, every lie, every shame, Every sin, already covered by the blood, was shredded, not dismissed for lack of evidence, but ruled invalid by the judge himself. That's why you feel lighter. The shadow over your legitimacy has lifted. Then came the shift in your very fragrance. You emit something now, a blend of holiness, obedience, and courage that spirits can't ignore. Light radiates differently from you. Even your spiritual aura burns hotter, making some draw near for warmth and others flee from the heat. Access was granted to mysteries once locked away. Revelations that don't just inform you, they reconfigure you. You see patterns others overlook. You discern motives before the mask slips. The scrolls have been opened, and your operational tier just changed. Finally, the trumpet, a time marker that says the season has begun. Its sound traveled farther than your reach, alerting every spirit in your radius. Some came to assist, others came to oppose, but all of them now know. Your mission phase is not coming. It's here. This seal you carry, it was ISSUED, not imagined, not born from your ambition, not fueled by emotion. It was conferred in the King's Court, where the verdict was final before you were even aware of the trial. To erase it would require a court higher than heaven, and such a court does not exist. It was signed in covenant, not ink. The signature is not pen and paper. It's the blood of the Lamb, that unforgeable substance, that eternal medium that no sorcery can counterfeit. Witchcraft can smear your emotions. It can try to cloud your thoughts, but it cannot dissolve covenant substance. Hebrews 9:12. By his own blood he entered once for all into the holy place. Once written there, it's forever binding. There is a superiority clause over every lesser contract. Curses, hexes, soul ties, demonic bargains, they rank lower. When jurisdictions collide, the higher law nullifies the lesser by design, not debate. The moment you stand under heaven's legislation, every counterfeit agreement becomes void on contact. And the seal? It's built with tamper-evident architecture. The moment anyone tries to overwrite it, the spirit realm triggers an audit. Evidence is logged, penalties are assigned, and the attacker begins to pay, sometimes in peace, sometimes in influence, sometimes in the very energy they tried to steal. Understand this, your seal is multi-layered. It's not a single stamp on your forehead. It's etched into your spirit, written into your conscience, woven into your assignment, rooted into your relationships, mapped across your geography, and timed in your seasons. If one layer comes under pressure, the others rise to reassert your identity. And here is the warning. Key custody is heavenly. The private key to revoke this seal belongs to God, alone. You carry operational access through obedience, but no created power holds the delete key. Not man, not demon, not even you in your weakest moment. Curse, require consent. The seal resets your default to Denny by law. If darkness wants a foothold, it must first win your agreement, and the spirit will always flag the attempt before it's too late. And this seal? It comes with enforcement, not decorative, not symbolic. Angels are assigned as sheriffs. They filter incoming spiritual traffic, block hostile payloads, and return them to sender when heaven permits. Here's the beauty. This seal is anti-fragile. Pressure doesn't weaken it. It clarifies it. The more the enemy presses, the clearer your jurisdiction becomes. Every attack sets a new precedent for your future authority. Yes, neglect can smudge it. Confusion, fatigue, compromise can dull its visibility. But one act of repentance, one moment of realignment, and the surface shines again. Erasure isn't even on the menu. Only God could remove what God installed, and his covenant stands. They've been watching you longer than you think. Not just the people in plain sight, but the ones behind the veil. The realm has been running trajectory surveillance on you. Not for a week, not for a month, for years. Tracking your humility when no one was clapping. Logging your obedience when no one was watching. Marking how you stayed faithful under pressure when others broke. Because in the spirit realm, rank is predicted by consistency, not ceremony. And before you ever realized it, heaven started changing your loadout. You woke up one morning carrying weapons you didn't apply for. Mantles you never bought. Armor you didn't earn in the way man counts merit. And the adversary? They read equipment like soldiers read stripes. One glance, and they know. Your clearance just changed. The trials you faced lately? They were not random. The difficulty was diagnostic. The size of the giant was proof of the sword you'd been given. The weight of the battle was evidence of your new clearance level. Hell doesn't waste its elite forces on someone with no future threat to its agenda. Even your bloodline has been leaking intel. Ancient covenants, unfinished assignments, generational callings. All of it sends a signal into the realm. Darkness knows when a family line is about to recover territory. They saw your elevation coming before you got the first whisper of it. And every time you step into a space and the atmosphere changes, that's not coincidence. Territorial spirits feel you the way a ruler feels an invading king. The shift in the air is their admission of loss. They've even been timing heaven's response to you, watching the gap between your prayer and your breakthrough. And lately, the lag is gone. The supply is faster. The interventions are cleaner. The realm knows what that means. You've got expedited channels now. Old lures? They don't work anymore. They've run the probes, sent the bait, recycled the offers, and their failure rate is climbing. Your sanctification has crossed a threshold, and they can't touch you on the old frequencies. Make no mistake, your name is already circulating on hostile watch lists. When promotion proceedings begin in heaven, alerts go out in hell. They start preemptive measures before you even notice the shift. And then, this is the part they hate. When you choose mercy over retaliation, you rewrite the legal map under your feet. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's a legal escalation. It installs new protections that darkness cannot breach. Even your current habits are broadcasting the future. Those midnight prayers, the unprompted fasting, the generosity no one sees. In the realm, those are not hobbies. They're rehearsal behaviors. Evidence that the next command post is already being built. For you, you feel it, the lock has clicked. Identity no longer negotiates with insecurity. Your spirit, soul, and body are no longer pulling in three directions. They move as one command unit. What once felt like a civil war inside you has become a single marching army. No more pausing to ask if you're qualified. No more rehearsing old wounds like they're proof against your worth. Heaven already signed the verdict. The jury is no longer out. And now, latency vanishes. You don't wait days to obey. You don't stall for more confirmation. When the Spirit says move, your steps are already halfway there. You've stopped reacting to life's chaos. Now you're authorizing heaven's agenda in real time. Prayer has shifted too. It's not begging at the door of the throne room. It's legislating from the seat you've been given. Let it be done, on earth, as it is in heaven, is no longer theory, it's policy. When you declare, angels take it as an official dispatch. Demons read it as a lawful eviction. You no longer fight random battles. You've learned the protocol. Some assignments are yours to engage. Others are distractions, designed to bleed your strength. What you bind, stays bound. What you ignore with divine wisdom withers away without your touch. And atmospheres, they're different now. The moment you walk in, the spiritual air adopts your standard. Confusion begins packing its bags. Fear loses the right to breathe. Order rises without you lifting your voice, because heaven's policy is printed in your presence. Supply lines have stopped being crisis-driven. The famine seasons where you prayed for just enough are over. Now provision shows up on schedule. The leaks are sealed. Resources arrive aligned with the exact phase of your assignment. Heaven's economy wastes nothing and loses nothing on your watch. Your enemies? They've learned the cost. Every strike they launch comes with interest owed. Every curse ricochets back to sender with legal evidence attached. Your authority makes harassment too expensive for them to keep funding. The smartest move they can make now is retreat. Even time is bending. Chronos, the ticking clock, has lost its power to intimidate you. Kairos, divine timing, is folding events together in compressed layers. What once took years now unfolds in weeks, not by rushing, but by divine synchronization. And the alliances, they're self-sorting. The right ones are finding you without effort. They recognize your frequency and lock in like covenant partners who've been waiting for this moment. The wrong ones can't breathe in your air, they drift away without confrontation. Your victories are no longer personal trophies. They are templates, Others are stepping into breakthrough because of the framework you left behind. You are deputizing others, multiplying authority instead of hoarding it. And the footprint of your calling is now larger than you will ever see in your lifetime. Prophecies don't expire when the world forgets them. They wait. Some were whispered over you decades ago. Some came from voices you barely remember. Some you doubted were even for you. But everyone was planted in time. Now the seeds have synchronized. One opens here, another there, until suddenly, the field is in full bloom. Not random, not coincidence. This is prophetic convergence. And it's happening all at once so you can't mistake the author. Those storms you cursed under your breath, they weren't punishment. They were curriculum. Every betrayal was a practicum in authority. Every delay was a drill in endurance. The tests weren't to break you. They were to train you for the weight you're carrying now. Even the silence was part of the syllabus. Luke 4, Jesus himself was tested before public release. And so were you. Endurance has bought you something you didn't even know was for sale. Jurisdiction. You've proven under fire that you won't abandon your post. Heaven promotes on loyalty, not hype. Now the legal right to govern certain territories has been transferred into your hands. Some of those territories are physical. Some are spiritual. All are yours to steward. Look at your scars. They are not evidence of defeat. They are credentials. In the spirit realm, they read like medals. Proof you can take a hit and still guard the assignment. Paul bore the marks of Christ. So do you. The timing is not just about you. It's about the land, the people, the systems. 5 years ago, the soil wasn't ready. Today, it is ripe. If you had arrived earlier, the fruit would have rotted. Now, the gates are open, and the harvest will actually hold. The enemy's playbook is empty. They've tried fear. They've tried isolation. They've tried distraction and character assassination. Nothing worked. The fact that you are still standing is their confirmation that the field is no longer theirs. You are walking onto uncontested ground. And heaven's supply lines? Full. Intercessors you've never met have been covering you. Resources have been hidden in plain sight, waiting for this very week, this very hour. Angels have been briefed. Revelation has been released. Everything you need for this assignment is already within reach. Your compass is true now. No more wandering into dead ends. No more chasing what glitters but has no glory. You can feel bait before it's even set. This is maturity, a weapon as sharp as any sword. And the realms? They know. The embargo is over. The trumpet is already sounded. Even before you felt the shift, the announcement was made. Release them. The time has come. Now the pressure of destiny is irreversible. Momentum has tipped beyond the point of no return. Even if you tried to run, events would chase you down, pulling you back into the center of the mission. This is not a season of maybe. This is a season of must. Once your name is known in the spirit realm, neutrality is gone. You cannot stand in the middle anymore. To the kingdom, you are a representative. To the enemy, you are a target. You either walk in it, or you watch it fade. Revelation 3 warns lukewarm gets spit out. This is not a season for lukewarm. Authority is not just a badge. It is a mandate. It must be seen in the way you speak, in the firmness of your decisions, in the way you step into a room and shift the atmosphere. James says faith without works is dead. A title in heaven must translate into action on earth. But with visibility comes weight. Eyes you can't see are watching. Every word, every choice, every alignment. Your confirmed rank will be tested, not once, but constantly. And in this rank, a small compromise can echo like thunder in the unseen. The cost of misalignment has increased, not because God is cruel, but because the territory you carry cannot afford cracks. False humility will choke your assignment. You call it staying low. Heaven calls it burying the talent. You were not signed for storage. You were signed for deployment. And if you shrink back, you not only delay your destiny, you starve the people attached to your obedience. This means your preferences are no longer the driver. Mission overrides mood. Divine directives outweigh personal comfort. Deviation now is not just a wrong turn. It's breach of contract with the one who sealed you. Jesus said, "I must be about my Father's business. So must you." And hear this. Warning, your identity will attract opposition scaled to your authority. Promotion in the kingdom means bigger giants. Do not be shocked when resistance upgrades. It's confirmation, not condemnation. The enemy assigns his best to challenge heaven's best. So your daily life must match your spiritual signature. No double message, no contradiction. The way you talk, the habits you form, the alliances you keep, they must echo the sound of the one heaven endorsed. Anything else dilutes your credibility in both realms. Resources will increase. Provision will start flowing in ways you have prayed for. But with increase comes scrutiny. The test now is stewardship. How you spend will be watched. Waste is proof you're not yet fit for greater allocation. Faithful in little, ruler over much. That law still stands. Survival mode is over. You are no longer called just to endure. You are called to architect. Think beyond your lifetime. Plan impact that will ripple for generations. This is legacy territory now. And readiness? It's measured by obedience speed. Delayed obedience is disobedience in disguise. When the Spirit says move, you move. No second guessing, no bargaining, no delay. Because the quicker you align, the more heaven can release through you, as the one it is already confirmed, chosen, one. God signed your authority. Now every spirit knows,